Sawe, good. Saria, good. Sag, good. We're good. We're good. Okay. So, unmute all. I'm going to unmute all of you.
I want to be short. Hata that was such a great project.
All right, that's what happens when I unmute all you. Be careful. I might be able to hear what you're saying. Okay, so let's move this all over here. How do I maximize a window? I need to find some hotkeys here to maximize this stuff. Okay. All right, good afternoon. Today, we're starting another new course. I hope your lunch was really good. Mine was good. This course is called Tools in Automation. And so this is actually one of my favorite courses because I probably say that about every course, but I really like this stuff. This stuff to me is really interesting and different. It is very different, okay? It is not really programming. We're going to be learning about the command line, okay? And we're going to be learning about how we use some of these command line tools to help support our programming. Okay, we're going to learn about programming, some tools later, but first, these first couple classes, we need to get accustomed and acquainted with the command line. And the command line is usually super scary for people. They see it in movies all the time. Makes it look like people are hackers, right? And you've seen me use the command line on enough occasions, so you know, I hope, what I'm talking about. Today we're going to install it, but before that, we should walk through the course outline, okay? So I've already added you to the course. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, I've already added you to the course, okay, and the course is SD 130. SD 130. So SD 130. Tools and automation. SD 130, tools and automation. Okay. So for this course, okay, good, yeah. So this course, Tools in Automation, what we're going to be doing, everyone can see my screen? Yeah, sharing it? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, good. About 52 hours. That's about the same length of time as our last course, okay? We're going to be doing in the afternoons. I didn't send out that link to that quiz. Sorry, I'm really busy right now. I've got a lot of stuff to do. I need to rejig these courses because of the timing and stuff like that. And it just doesn't work as well remotely. And so I'm finding myself I have to rejig everything, and it's just taking me so long. So I'll get around to it. Putting on that thing until then, 12:30 to 3:15 every day. Okay, so these are our official course times. Lecture delivery is going to be 12:30 unless otherwise noted, as I mentioned earlier today. Starting today, April 27th, is that right? Ooh, it's the 28th today. What? No, it's not. It also says it's 12:38 a.m. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Is it even 12? Is it 12:30? Is it 12:38? Okay, well, at least that's right. But clearly Windows has some problems here. It is the 27th. Okay, so we're starting today. We're going until May 22nd. Same length of time as the other course. Okay, it is 4 weeks long. They start and they finish on the same day. Okay. One of the different things that we're going to be doing with this course, though, is I'm actually going to be using and following instead of a book or something, I'm going to be following a set of online tutorials. So the online tutorials that I'll be using is from a company called Udacity. Okay. So you can see it here. They have a bunch of courses, right, that you can subscribe to, just like any other online tutorial thing. Okay. I have a link to the course that I'll be following. It's free. Okay. And so there's some videos and there's some text and stuff like that. The course that we're doing is not super documentation heavy. So it's kind of nice to have these videos and limited text. And honestly, the videos and the stuff are pretty good. So I'm going to be following that. I might expand on it a little bit, but in terms of the order that it's going in, I'll be working close. I'll be following that closely. Okay, so I would, instead of reading, I will say, well, there will be potentially some additional reading, but I'll say, go watch these videos. There should be some exercises. There should be some stuff. I have my exercises and stuff in addition. This is kind of the, like, if you don't understand what's going on in the lecture and the exercises don't make sense and you're looking for some of that supplemental material, go check out this stuff, okay? So Udacity, you're going to have to create an account. If you go to the website for this, LTLMS, okay, the course is called Tools in Automation, and it's got this cool little black background. Okay, so if you view that course, and then right at the top, there is a link, obviously a link to the course outline that I'm reviewing with you right now, and also a link to Udacity Shell Workshop. So we're going to be starting there. So this will bring you right to the course, okay? And it says Start Free Course. Just click on that. It'll prompt you to create an account. Just use whatever you want for your email, okay? I'm gonna pause for 2 minutes while you do that. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna see if I can fix my clock. So I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. Go, subscribe, and create your free account. Is everyone good? Everyone's created their free account. Pretty straightforward. Cool. All right. We'll continue with the course outline here. All right. So what is the goal of this course? My goal in this course is essentially 3 parts. Part 1, I want you to become comfortable using the command line. That's really important, okay? Any developer worth their salt should be able to use the command line. If you arrive at your internship and someone sits you down in front of a command line and you run away with your tail between your legs, that is not good, okay? I look down upon people who can't use the command line because that is a fundamental concept of computing that I think everyone should be able to do, okay? So we're gonna take the time to make sure that you learn it. You're gonna take the time to make sure that you practice it. The command line is a lot like an instrument. There's not a lot to memorize, but the more you practice it, the better you get. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna practice it, okay? So that's part 1. Part 2, obviously, not just learning the command line, I'm gonna show you around, show you some commands, show you how it works. Okay, get comfortable, answer any questions. Because again, for a lot of people, this is a really scary thing. You're going to come out of this feeling like a power user. That's the first part. Part two, we're going to be looking at something called version control, okay, which is a way essentially to save our code, right? Because we're writing lots of code, we're sharing code with each other. Remember, we haven't done that yet, really, but in the real world, we're working as part of a team. And so there must be a way that we can share code with each other. And to share code with each other, we need some sort of system. Not only a system for sharing, but also a system for managing what changes did I make? What changes did you make? And putting those changes together while not totally destroying a project, okay? That's a version control system. So the second part of this course, we're going to be learning about a version control system, very popular, most popular. It's called Git, okay? And all this is going to be done through the command line. This whole course is going to be done through the command line. In fact, one of the reasons I decided to split these courses up into half days is because your previous course that we were working on this morning, I want you to use the command line in that one too. So that's where our practice is going to come in. That's how these labs are going to overlap and integrate. Okay, so pretty much what I'm asking from you is over the next month and a half that we're programming, not just this course, but the next course too, I want you to use the command line. It's going to be really painful at first. And you're going to feel really slow and you're going to screw up. And that's okay. Okay, but you're going to get better. Third part is we're going to learn how we can create some scripts that we can use from the command line to actually increase our productivity as developers. Do things like automate updating the size of the images. Remember at the beginning of the course when we were doing HTML and CSS, and I was showing you this like program here, PNG optimizer. And I showed you this tiny PNG where we drag the images in and it compresses the images and stuff like that. It's great, cool, right? And there's like a lot of little things like this that we do to optimize our web pages. And this is only one example, by the way. We can do all of this from the command line with one button. All we have to do is program it. And so I'm going to show you how to write little scripts like that so we can then just go to our programs and be like, optimize my website, enter, and it will just do all this stuff for you, right? And when I say all this stuff, we have to build and customize all these things because every project is going to be different. And so I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? And these are common techniques that are used in the industry to do on a frequent basis, okay? So it'll be very applicable. All this stuff, super applicable, okay? All right, so everyone's got Udacity installed. Everyone's signed up for Udacity. It's just one lesson, okay? It's not long. And for the first couple of days, there's not really a lot to talk about. I'm gonna be showing you some commands, answering some questions. For the most part, it's really going to be coming down to practice for you and desire, okay? I can only make up so many exercises with this. And in fact, I won't be evaluating you on this per se, at least for the first part, navigating in the terminal, so navigating in the console, using these commands. I won't be evaluating you directly on them because actually now that we're out of class, I have no way. I used to give a paper quiz, right? Because the paper quiz, closed book, would have commands on it and I'd ask you, what do these commands do? And you'd say, yeah, you would be there, no computer, you'd have to answer them from memory. But I can't do that anymore. And that's fine. Here's the plan. the rest of your courses are just going to depend on your ability to navigate the command line. Because if you can't, it's going to be extremely painful. Okay. There's some chat going on. Okay. So let's take a quick look at some of the topics that we'll be covering and what the breakdown looks like. So the first 3 days, we're just going to be going over the shell. Okay. So day 1 today, I'm going to show you some basic commands. We're going to install a shell, and we're going to look at some basic file system hierarchy. Pretty straightforward stuff. It's going to be different though, because our systems are different. Some of you have Windows, some of you have Mac. I'm going to do my best to accommodate both of you. Okay. Class 2, more advanced stuff. First 3 classes, all terminal. Class 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the next 6 classes, it's version control. It's Git with version control. Okay. And this is going to be a lot. We'll come to class. I'll show you some stuff. I'll give you some exercises. The real assignments here is going to be you applying these concepts to your other courses assignments. So in your other course, I'm going to say, build this, right? Build this app. In this course, I'm going to say, you know that app that you're building? I want you to use Git, and I want you to do stuff with it. So these assignments are going to be tied together. Okay. And then the rest of it is going to be, I'm going to introduce you to Node.js. A lot of you have already installed it. That's what we're using to run our JavaScript from VS Code. And I'm going to be introducing you to some command line stuff using Node and Node Package Manager. Okay. Node is amazing. Very super useful. It essentially allows us to run JavaScript outside of our browser, including through the console. Okay. And we're going to go through many classes of automation, learning how to do those automated tasks like hit that one button, optimize my website kind of thing. Okay. We're going to go through about 4 or 5 classes of that. And then I want to look at some other things that we can do with Node, like interact with our file system, read in files, write to files, like real file stuff. Remember in our last course, we did some fake file stuff. Now we're going to do real file stuff. Okay. Just for fun, just to show you the power, just to show you what you can do, show you that we can use JavaScript for programming outside of our browser, but still interacting with our computer. I'm going to spend 1 day going through hosting, so you too can have a website that MITT repair. It's not on this computer. Sorry, it's not on this computer. The websites that I was using to host the MITT repair and the examples, not the solutions, but the samples that I'd give you where you can actually test them out. I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to put your websites online. I'll show you 3 different ways. Okay, so we'll spend 1 class doing that. It's really not hard. 1 class? That seems a lot for 1 class. I'll probably pick 1 of them. And then we'll do a final project. Okay. The breakdown is identical to the last course. Assignment 1, assignment 2, final project. Assignment 1 and assignment 2, these dates are tied with the other class. Okay. So those they should be happening around the same time. If they're not, I'm going to have to fix them up. But they should be happening around the same time. Feel like they're not. That's okay. We'll tidy those up. But the breakdown is still the same, 20, 20, 60. Okay. Any questions about the class, about the material that I'm about to present to you? Okay.
Should we download Git?
Yes. That's where I'm going right now. Okay. So first thing we should do is we should download Git. If we're not just Git, terminal. Okay. So Windows users by default, we've got shitty terminals. Okay. We do not have what we call a quote unquote Unix based command line interface on our computers right now. Mac users, you do. Okay. It's called terminal. So Mac users hit command space to bring up Spotlight and just type in terminal. And you got yourself a terminal. Windows users, follow me. You're going to have to go to Mac users. Actually, I'll do you in a second. Okay. You've got your terminal already. Windows users, we're going to download terminal and bash all at once. Okay. So Windows users, you're going to type in Windows Git. Okay. And the first one that comes up is going to be Windows Git SCM. And that's what we're going to click on. And we want to download the newest one. Oh, does it automatically bring you to the download page? That's pretty crazy. Yeah. So we want to download. If it doesn't automatically download, you're probably going to want to click here to download it manually. Wait. Windows GUIs. Wait. Sorry. Is that the right one? Sorry. This is what you want. Git for Windows. Git for Windows. This is what you want. Okay, let me post that in Discord. And put it in the course stuff. I feel like I already did, but I may be wrong. Actually, I don't think I did. I think I did. I don't know. Git for Windows. Yeah, right there. Click on that link. Git for Windows. It's right there. Okay. Download it. Go through the prompts. Install it. Okay. There's not a lot, like there's a couple checkboxes here. You don't have to modify anything. Okay, just next, done. Okay. Mac users, you don't need to download a terminal. Okay, you already have a terminal. You're going to need instead to download Git. Okay, so you can go grab the Git OS X installer and download here. Okay, and install.
John, I have a question.
Yeah.
So mine is not bash anymore. It's ZSH.
You changed it to Z shell? Okay, that's fine. No problem.
I didn't change it. It's after like downloading Catalina.
Really? They switched to Z shell? Okay, that's fine. I have Z shell installed as well. So I'll be using both. Yeah. So I'm just going to pause for a second and let everyone download this stuff. Okay. I respect that some of you may have a slower computer. So I will continue to pause.
So it says it might be affected by malware. Cannot verify this app is free. from now
Mhm.
there,
Mhm.
and I just press OK. Doesn't
Uh,
upon
oh,
that. Mm.
You open settings and go to security. I think there's a
Security and privacy, yeah.
All preferences.
John, I have a question.
Yeah, system preferences, yeah.
This Git for Windows is like Unix simulator or something like that.
yeah.
Because I have in my computer Ubuntu by or Linux by Windows.
Yep. Yeah, you can use that too. It's
Okay.
just, I really hummed and hawed over lunch about which one I wanted to use. And I decided that I'm going to continue to use this one because it has the least amount of long-term problems. It's easier. If someone runs into some problems with this, it's easier. I am running both. On my screen right now, actually on the left-hand side, I have Windows Subsystem for Linux. On the right-hand side, I have Windows Subsystem for Linux over here. And here I have, this is Git Bash. I'm running both of them.
Because my question is because I have already installed in my computer because I use it for another thing.
That's fine. Do you have Git installed on that?
Okay, let me check.
You have to apt install it, sudo apt install Git.
Okay.
So, all right. I'm going to assume everyone's done. If you're not done, tell me you're not done.
Sorry, I'm not done.
Okay,
Can't find
perfect.
how to.
Have you?
Okay, so you know what, Saria, what you can do is you can, instead of double clicking to open it, you can right click on it. And I think it says open.
Okay.
And that will bypass that issue. It will still pop up, but it gives you a new prompt that still allows
To
you
open. Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Yep. That is a Mac thing that came out, I think, 2 versions ago. It's not that this has malware. It's just that they've upped their security, so you essentially can't install things from third parties unless you really know how to do it. Yeah. It might even, with Catalina, they might even have Git already installed. But
Yeah, I
usually,
think it has a little.
usually the
don't know how to-
versions, usually the versions that come with the operating systems are out of date. They're older, usually. But this is a good experience anyways, because really you want to be comfortable enough installing things and controlling your own operating system and not letting the operating system tell you what you can and cannot do, right? We're the power users. We should be the ones telling the operating system, no, don't tell me what I can and cannot install. Install this version, okay? We just have to figure out how to coerce it.
I think I installed something wrong.
Okay.
When I double
You're
click on the shortcut, it
Uh-huh.
just opens File Explorer. Like I see the command prompt open for a sec, it closes, and then it just brings me to File Explorer.
Okay.
Is that how it's supposed to behave?
No. It should open up this window on the left-hand side of my screen here.
I'm
Should
just
open
gonna,
up something that looks like that.
okay. Oh, I got it. Git command. I was opening up Git bash.
Yeah, git command. Okay, sure. Yeah. So git command. This is what you want. This is where we want to get to. Okay. If you are a Mac user, now would be a good time to open your terminal. Okay. You actually didn't need to install Git today for Mac users. It's just that for Windows users, we're installing both of them at the same time. So Mac users, let's just get on the same page and do it all together. Okay. So everyone has a shell open. We're going to take a little tour. Okay. So put me in the top right-hand corner or split the screen half and half. put my shell on half so you can see what I'm typing in, put your shell on the other half so you can see what you're typing in, okay? And let's take a little walk. All right, so this is a shell, okay? The shell itself is usually, or a terminal, okay? There's a lot of names. The terminal usually refers to the program that we're running, okay? It usually refers to the program that we're running, a terminal emulator, okay? How did I screw that up? It's referring to a terminal emulator, okay? And so, but what we're running here in the background is, this is a command, this is a command line. It's waiting for input. It's a line waiting for commands to come from us, right? So this whole thing, this whole window, that's a terminal, emulator, terminal, okay? This is a command line. The program that's running in this terminal emulator is called bash, okay? And bash is a specific type of shell. There are many shells. Saria, or anyone on new Macs, you're using a shell called Z shell, okay? I am using, well, don't know how to. This on the right-hand side, this is Z shell. Yours might look a little bit different than mine. Okay, mine's customized. Yours isn't. Yours also might look a little bit different on the left-hand side for Windows users. Mine's customized. Yours isn't. Okay, mine's over here is not very customized. Over here it's more customized. Okay, and we'll look at how we can do that. To clear your screen, well, hey, let's start by walking around and looking at the file system. I'm going to take a look at both of these, Mac on the right-hand side, Windows on the left-hand side, because the file system is a little bit different. Okay, they have a lot of things in common, and bash, git bash for Windows tries to give Windows users a kind of Unix-like flavor. So Unix being a different operating system, a very old operating system, okay, one that Mac is based on. On the right-hand side, this is a pure Linux operating system. So there's going to be a lot of similarities. So the first command we're going to learn about is to find out in the hierarchy where we are. Okay, because we all know. So what this is doing right now is this is a reflection of this folder structure that you see here, right? C. Then there's folders within folders within folders, right? This is how operating systems are organized, with Windows C being the root drive, right? And I remember I was talking about this at the beginning. What is the root drive called in Mac? Does anyone remember the first couple weeks of class, first week of class? Or on Linux, what's the root drive on Linux? It's kind of a trick question. The answer is / root. Okay? Root is the root drive in Linux. On Windows, it's C. So we're going to take a look at how this folder structure, this hierarchy, one, is represented in the shell, and two, how do we get around? How do we navigate around? So the first thing we're going to learn is how to check where we are. So there's usually two ways to figure out where we are. Okay, we can type in this command that I'm going to show you, or we can look at the prompt. This thing right here, they're called the prompt. And we're in control of that. So we get to decide what's being shown. But one of the things that I value in my prompts is telling me where the heck I am, because I need to know which directory I'm in. Okay, and I like to see that. I don't like to have to use a command to figure it out. But the command is print working directory. This is what you might see in Mac. This is what you'll see in Windows. So in Windows, you see your print working directory. The current directory that I'm in is C users JNizzy. Okay, that is C users JNizzy. I'm here. I'm here. This, and over here on Mac, home/username. Right? Does everyone see that? Any problems? Any questions? Okay. Home/username. This directory has a special meaning and a special name for it. Okay. This directory has a special name and a special meaning, more so on a Unix environment, but because this on the left-hand side is emulating a Unix environment, okay, the name of this directory is called the home directory, your home directory, okay? And it's obvious. This is the user's JNizzy, or the user's, I don't know, whatever your username was that you used to sign into the computer, okay? Elite programmer or something. I don't know what name you use. Same thing with Mac, okay? So this is going to be where your downloads folder is. This is going to be where your pictures are, where your documents are. Both operating systems do things in a very similar manner. And every user that signs into this computer has their own home directory. So my downloads folder is separate from my wife's downloads folder. So if she logs into this computer, she has her own download, she has her own home directory off of here. So it would be her name, and then she would have her own set of folders. That's her home directory. This is my home directory. When you log into your terminal, when you open your terminal, it knows which user you're logged into the computer as, and it brings you to the home directory based on your user, okay? In addition, since this directory is so important, it also has a special symbol associated to it. And that's this symbol right here, the tilde symbol. So when you look at this prompt, you must be saying, well, John, you said that it's important to you to know where you are, but the prompt doesn't show that. And I say, actually, it does. The prompt shows me this tilde. This tilde indicates I'm in my home directory, okay? And anytime I can use tilde within any of my stuff in the console to refer to my home directory. Okay. All right. Questions so far? Let's go for a walk. How do we see what's inside the home directory? The first thing we should do is we should probably look to see what's inside our home directory. Okay. The command to list stuff that's in here is called ls. ls meaning list. Same thing over here. Okay, so the commands work for both. I'm gonna go back to one. I'll continue to use two terminals, but the commands are same for both. I don't have anything in my home directory on one side. Okay. In my other side, I have a bunch of stuff. Okay. And this is all the stuff that you would see here. Okay. 3D objects, app data. Now you don't have app data. Oh yeah, app data. Contacts, cookies. That's an interesting one. No application data. Oh, these ones with the @ symbol, they don't show up over here. But you get the idea, right? So this is a representation of this. Actually, this is a visual representation of this. The one on the left, the terminal, gives you way more control and is a better, more accurate representation than the one on the right. This is user-friendly. This is mouse-friendly. This is grandma-friendly. This is the one on the left is the real deal. Okay, this is the fake deal. Okay, it's got the little fun icons and stuff, so grandma knows where her pictures are. Okay, the one on the left is what the programmers use. So ls, list the contents of the directory. But with all of our commands, so the way that these commands work is we type them in, boom, we hit enter, and we get feedback. Generally, in Bash and shells in general, no feedback, or either feedback like a listing or printing, or no feedback at all means the command worked. Okay, sometimes you'll do commands that have no feedback, which means it worked. It's really strange. Okay, just that's a very common thing. So don't be too surprised. So we have ls, okay, and ls over here. We've got some things that we can add to our command. So the ls, the list command, we have some what we call flags or arguments or parameters if you want. Okay, those are common terms used. And they come after the ls. And this is pretty consistent with all commands. So we're saying, do the directory listing thing, but add a flag, L. L gives us more information. So if I do that over here, /L, it doesn't look very good because I'm really zoomed in. And I'll make this bigger. And rerun it. There we go. ls-L will give you information like, when was this file updated? The timestamp, right? We're used to seeing that usually in our Explorer, right? Date modified. We're used to seeing that. Type, we can kind of infer the type. Blue is folders, not blue is files. Strange color blue, teal, that's something different. We'll talk about that later. Okay. But it also gives you things like size. And then you look at the size and you're like, 3407872, what size is that? And the answer is, well, we have another flag that we can add that will help us understand the sizes better, and that is the dash. So dash L, we can chain these flags together. Dash L to get this listing, and dash H, human readable. Okay, again, I'm going through a lot, okay? But remember, this is just repetitive stuff. And now we see it changed from 3.3407872 to 3.3 megs. Okay, so ls. ls is the listing command. Okay, to list the stuff in your directory. Don't worry so much about the flags. Those will come. Don't worry so much about the flags. Those will come. But I want you to see them. So you'd be like, John told me this exists. And I'm going to give you a cheat sheet later. Okay, I'm going to give you a cheat sheet with all these commands on it. And most commonly used flags. There's not a lot. There's about 15 commands that you need to know to be good at this. Okay. All right, so we're in our directory. We looked at the contents of it. Let's drive around. Let's go into another directory. Okay, so I'm going to clear this. I'm going to ls. One thing that I can guarantee that's in common with both Windows and Mac users is we both have a downloads directory. Okay, so to go into another directory, the command is CD, change directory. CD, change directory, space, and then the name of the directory that we want to change into, and it usually is case sensitive. Capital D, O, W, N, L, O, A, D, S. Enter. And suddenly we are in the downloads directory. Okay. Change directory, downloads.
Sir, I got a question.
Yep.
So is this like CD downloads? Is that? Oh wait, that's downloads. That's not downloads. So that's my bad.
Yeah. If you type in the wrong directory, okay, CD, download, error, no such file or directory. If you type in the right directory, it just brings you there, right? No feedback, right? This is feedback. It doesn't say congratulations, you typed in the correct directory. It just brings you to that directory. And you can see, like I said, I value that information in the command, on the prompt. This is the prompt. That information is important to me. And so I have my prompt, and the default is to show that in the prompt, the current working directory. No, CWD doesn't work. Okay, the current working directory. Or if you went PWD, you get the full path. Okay. All right, so we went into a directory. Let's learn how to so we went deeper in, right? So that's like me going to my Explorer and double clicking on downloads. Let's take a look what's in here. Okay, so LS. LS will show you what's in your directory. Okay. And you get files and folders. Okay. Over here for my other one, same thing. I don't have a downloads because this is Linux. So I actually have nothing in here. But we'll create something right away. All right, so now we're in, we can apply the same commands as we did before. We can list the contents. We can find out where we are. Okay. And we can go deeper if we need to. I'm going to go into Hans Mander's assignment, and we're going to mark it together. Just kidding. Okay, so here's the thing. Terminal programs, command lines, shells don't support spaces. And so you'll see that anything that has a space in it has quotes around it. And that's because if we want to go into a directory like that with a space in it, we should put quotes around it. If I don't put quotes around it, it says too many arguments, error, error. Anything with a space in it, got to put quotes around it. Single quotes, double quotes, doesn't matter. Oh, no, it does matter. Single quotes. What? Oh, because I was already in that directory. Sorry. Yeah, single quotes, double quotes don't matter. Single quotes, double quotes don't matter. Okay. So we go into the directory. We can go into deeper directories. Okay. Questions?
How are you refreshing our page like that?
Control L. Windows users, Control L. Mac users, Command K. Oh, we'll clear the screen.
So I found in the terminal on Mac, if I use tab to auto finish the rest of part of my folder name, it doesn't put a bracket, quotes on it. It puts
It's backslash space.
backslash, yeah.
Yeah.
That works.
So, yeah, that's the other way. Okay, so you just like opened a can of worms there. So I'll deal with that. The can of worms that Yushin opened up is one. We can, what was the name of this again? Hans Anderson. Okay, so we can, instead of using quotes, we can do escaping, which means we put a backslash space in. So the backslash is essentially saying the next character counts as part of this string that we're putting out. NGH. Okay, so we could do that too. So on Mac, they might kind of get you to do that. So that's one thing I want to unpack. But quotes is fine too. Okay. Next thing is auto completion. Auto completion, super important. Okay. When you are typing in a command, Bash and Z shell, any shell, can figure out what you're trying to type in as a file or directory. So for example, I'm going to type in HA, just HA, and I'm going to hit tab. Oh, wait, it doesn't work here. One sec. Okay, HA, I'm in downloads. There is a folder in here called Hansmander Sing. Okay, I'm gonna hit tab. And it automatically completed it. Enter. Now, why doesn't it work here? HA. Tab, 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 tab. Nothing. It doesn't work here because if I look at the contents of this folder, I like looking at this one better. I look at the contents of this folder, there is nothing that starts with capital HA. And so there's nothing to autocomplete. So it autocompletes based on the contents of the current folder. Okay. All right. Now, so if I wanted to see something or go somewhere, I can just hit CD. If there's another directory here, I could. How do I get backwards from where I am? I'm down as deep as I can. There's no more directories here. So instead, I have to take a step back to move up one directory. I don't need to know the name of it. It's just like in our HTML. CD space dot dot. Go up to the parent. Until you're at all the way to the top. You can keep going further and further and further and further until you're at the parent, right? And I am eventually at slash. I don't know what's in here. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. Okay. So we can go in, we can come out, we can look at the stuff inside. I mean, that's massive, right? We can find out where we are, pwd slash. Let's look at a couple more. All right. I can go directly to a directory if I know the path. So I'm like way at the top here, but at any point in time, anywhere I am, I can go anywhere else. I don't need to traverse going from one place to the next place to the next place to the next place. I can teleport directly there. Okay, so if you look where I am, I'm at slash. Let's go to /C. I'm in C. I'm in my C drive. Okay. I'm in my C drive. Okay, and there's no Hansmander directory here, but I know where it is. Okay, it's in CD space. It's in my home directory, in my downloads folder, in a directory called Hansmander sync. I can refer to my home directory anytime I want from anywhere using the special symbol. Special symbol. Then put a slash on it, and I can start using autocomplete because it knows to look for directories inside the home directory when I'm trying to autocomplete. It's smart enough to figure that out. So where did I need to go after home directory? Downloads. So I'm going to type in capital D and I'm going to hit tab. The first time I hit tab, nothing happened. The second time I hit tab, it's like, I don't know which one you're talking about. There's 3 of them. Documents start with capital D, desktop starts with capital D, and downloads. Can you be more specific, please? That's essentially what it's telling me. So I'm gonna say, okay, D-O, tab, tab. Not good enough? Okay, D-O-W, tab. And then from downloads, it was Hansmander, capital H, tab. Oops, tab. Enter. So I teleported directly from like this directory down into this directory. I didn't have to go CD into here, CD into here, CD into here, CD into here. So you can change directory to any specific directory you want as long as you know the path to that directory. And tilde always refers to our home directory. And you can access it from anywhere. So I can always just say CD tilde to bring me home, or I'm in Hansmander again, or CD space enter. Both of those will bring you home. You see, I'm not using just the word. We're using paths, file paths, directory paths to move around. And we're listing. I use ls-l all the time. To me, ls is garbage. This is a terrible thing to look at. I want my stuff stacked top to bottom. It's much easier for me. So I use ls-l all the time. Actually, I use something called ls-la. But I'll show you how to make it. Actually, I use something called ll. You might have ll. Try ll. If ll works, awesome. LL is actually better, but LL didn't used to exist. It's fairly new. Questions? Okay, a couple more things and then we're done. 3 things. 1, making new files. Making a new file. So I'm in my home directory here. I'm actually going to go to, I'm going to go to this one over here. since I have no files here, I'll make some files. So I'm in my home directory on another computer. Let's pretend. Okay, I'm in my home directory, and I'm going to make a file. So to make a new file, actually, sorry, I'm going to go back to Windows so we can see it in the in here. I'm going to go to Downloads. Okay, so I'm in Downloads. Make a new file. The command is touch, T-O-U-C-H, touch space. So it's always command space arguments, touch. So what is the name? Touch takes the name. It takes other things, but it wants to know the name of the file that we're going to create. So I'm just going to create one called index.html in downloads, in my downloads directory. And we go and we look, and index.html showed up right here. Let's try another one. Superfunstuff.html. And we look, hey, superfunstuff.html showed up. Cool. We can also, we're not limited to only creating one file at a time. We can touch 1.html, 2.html, 3.html. Most of these arguments are just separated by spaces. That's why spaces in names are not supported, because it sees a space and it automatically thinks like, oh, you're asking me to do something else. So I'm asking it to create 1, 2, 3. And now I just created 3 new files. 1, 2, 3. Touch. Next, making new directories. Do I do move? Sorry, I just need to check something. Okay. Shit. Okay. Sorry. Got a couple more things to look at. 2. Another thing. Make directories. mkdir. Make dir. Make a new directory in my downloads folder, and it shows up. Cool. Right. And last two more things. One, how to open Explorer at this location. How to open Finder at this location. So if you're in Mac and you want to open Finder, the file system, at where you are in your terminal, the command is open dot enter. Okay, and that will open Finder at this location. Windows, it's Explorer. And see it pops Explorer dot. And it brings me to that location. Dot, it refers to this directory that you're in. Dot dot refers to your parent directory. Dot refers to this directory. Okay, and last command, and then we're done. Move. MV. Move takes any folder or any file and moves it somewhere else. It can also rename things. Okay, so I'm in downloads. So I'm going to move new directory into my home directory. So it takes 2 arguments, MV. The first argument is what I want to move. New tab, new directory, space. The next argument is where do I want to move it to? Well, I am currently in downloads. I want to move it one directory up. I can either say, I want to move it into my home directory. Okay. Including the slash or not including the slash, doesn't matter. Or dot dot, one directory up. One of them is specific, one of them is home directory. The other one is one directory up, which does also mean the home directory in this case, but could also mean something different in another case, right? Depends where you are. Space. No feedback means success. So if we go up, cd dot dot, into my home directory, and I do a directory listing, you will see my new directory has been moved there, as well as all the file contents. You can move directories, you can move files, okay? You can move directories and you can move files. All right, that was a lot. That was a lot. Okay, we're done. We're done. No more new stuff today. So how the hell are you going to get good at this? Practice. Okay. I have those. You signed up for Udacity. You're going to watch those videos. 2, you're going to watch the videos. You're going to practice, and you're going to practice, and you're going to go above and beyond what I'm asking you to do. Okay. The amount of practice I can give you is not even close to the amount of practice that you need. So you're going to take an extra 20 minutes and you're going to move around. Okay. And you're going to go up and go down and move things around. Be careful. Be careful. You can screw up your computer, right? It's just like dragging around folders. You can obviously eventually screw up your computer if you just drag around folders the wrong place. Okay. Just be careful. But it's not any more dangerous playing in here than it is playing in here. The only thing I will caution you is do not do a command called rm yet, because there is no recycle bin. Once things have been removed from here, there is no getting them back. Okay, don't format, don't rm. Okay, just move around today. Let's look at the exercise, shall we? All right, the exercise. Pretty straightforward. I just get you to run commands and take a look at some stuff. Okay. So, make dear, run the following commands, check your work, run these things with these flags. What did they do? Try this, change directories, go here, do that, do this, do that, that type of stuff. Very structured, okay? Because that's really how these exercises are. They're just very structured. I just want you to get, it's all muscle memory, right? Learning the commands, once you learn the commands, it's just practice, muscle memory, muscle memory, muscle memory. So you gotta just practice. So please, there's some here, and there might be some in the example in the Udacity. Do that too, do more. Okay. Any questions?
I have one.
Yeah.
Would you be teaching us how to delete files or folders?
Yep. Yeah. Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 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 This isn't the only day. This is just day 1.
You said that make can rename it. How do you do that?
Oh yeah. Make move can rename, and all it is so I'm in this directory. I'm in my home directory with this new directory in there. I'm not going to move it anywhere else. Instead, I'm going to move it. So the first argument it takes is the directory I'm talking about, new directory. I'm just going to move it to a new name, and that renames it. And so now it's been renamed. So you move it. When you move it, you also have the option to rename it. That's just how it works. Give it a shot. Try a lot of these things. You kind of have to experiment with a little bit to kind of figure out the little nuances. But then once you figure it out, it's like, that's how it is all the time. There's no weird, there are little tricks, but it's not like JavaScript. It's not logical problem solving. We're not problem solving here. We're just applying a tool. Okay, a repetitive tool over and over and over and over again. That's all it is. So try that one. Move is just new name, tab. And then we can move it anywhere still. Move it to downloads, and I'll give it a new name. Test. So there isn't something called test in downloads already. So this new name folder will move to downloads, and it will now be called test. Okay. And yeah.
Sir, I have a question.
Yep.
So what if if you create a new file and it
Yep.
has the same name as another file inside has already exist, what's gonna happen?
So touch does one of two things. It either creates a new file or it updates the timestamp of an existing file. For example, this timestamp of the file 1, I created at 136. I'm going to touch 1.html. It can't create it because it already exists. And then I'm going to do another directory listing. It updated the timestamp to 146. That's how touch works. So touch creates it or updates it. If you try to move into something that already exists, it will move your stuff into that folder because it already exists and it thinks you want to move it into there.
I mean, like you have a such as the file name called the new directory, and you have already this new directory inside the downloads, right? And then you just create a new file name called the same new directory. So what's gonna happen?
You cannot have a file and a directory called the same thing. It just won't let you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. So exercise and Udacity. I'll give you a cheat sheet tomorrow because I don't want to ruin the surprises. Okay. If you can find cheat sheets online, but I've got one picked out. But I'll give it to you tomorrow because I want you to focus on this stuff. I don't want you to jump too far ahead. Again, muscle memory, right? We don't want to get too far ahead without really learning this stuff well, without practicing. All right. So there you have it. That's it for today. Tomorrow morning, 8:45, we'll resume again.
Sorry. I just think about another question. So is the language for the computer or laptop gonna affect this stuff? Like the language.
Oh, whether or not you're set to
Yeah, because
Chinese or English?
for example, I'm my laptop I'm now using it's English, but for my PC it's Chinese. So
No idea. Never encountered that before.
It's the same. The
the
command
same?
is the same. Yeah, the command is the same. It's in English, the command.
Okay.
So you can use in whatever computer that you have.
All right, I got to run. I got to get to a meeting now. Zach is available, so feel free to message him if you have any problems. You can also message me. I'll do my best to respond. Like I said, I'm in a meeting, so I'm technically not here just for a couple days. But good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:45.